Hello everyone, I'm CRUZ. I'm going to give a short introduction about this paper, Algebraic Coding Theory. Right from the beginning of the living organisms, information is being transferred from one living organisms to the other living organisms. Not only living organisms, especially we humans also transfer information from one person to another person. The person who sends the information is known as, who talks the information is known as the sender, and the person who hears or who receives the information is known as the receiver. So what happens in modern days is that not only living organisms communicate with each other, there are a lot of other electronic instruments, computers, and other gadgets also communicate with each other. So we people used to communicate in a language in which both of us understand. So in the similar way, electronic instruments and computers also communicate with each other in a language known as code. So code is nothing but a language in which electronic instruments or other computers communicate with each other. For example, let me describe a situation. For example, in deep space communication, a satellite in an orbit sends information about an image or photograph of some distant planet to the ground observing station. So what happens is that at the receiving end, due to some kind of an external noise in the space, some kind of information gets distorted or it gets misplaced. So what happens on the receiving end is that we need to exactly predict what it might have been sent from the satellite. So here comes the role of coding theory. So some kind of error is being taken place in the information that was sent by the satellite, and we have to direct those errors and we have to correct those errors. So that's one of the main objective of coding theory. So we should be able to devise codes in such a way that the errors, we should be able to detect and correct errors. So it all started with this famous paper written by Claude Shannon, The Mathematical Theory of Communication. So what he has done in this paper is that he has given a number called as an entropy of the number. He was able to quantify certain things. So that started with, that's all started with introducing the area of linking mathematics and communication. So that was marks the genesis of this coding theory. And then here I have given a example. For example, there are 4 foods: apple, banana, orange, and grape. I want to transfer this information to other receiving end. So what happens is that computers understand only those languages of binaries. So I'm just transferring or converting this apple into 0, 0, binary into 0, 1, and orange into 1, 0, and grape into 1, 1. So suppose I want to transfer this information apple. What happens if there is a, suppose if I want to transmit this 00, suppose if there is any noise in the channel or in the medium in which we are sending, the receiver might also receive that 00. So what happens if there is some kind of noise in the channel means the 00 might be converted into 01. So the person who is at the receiving end might think that the banana might have sent. So the person at the receiving end doesn't know whether the error have occurred or not. So the problem is that there is an error, but the receiver might not understand the fact that the noise have altered the message. So what happens is that here comes the role of coding theory. So what we have done is that what people used to do is that they are adding one more bit. So 00 is replaced by 000, 01 is replaced by 011, and 10 is replaced by 101, and 11 is replaced by 110. So suppose once again instead of 00, I'm sending 000. Since this is the code for Apple, I'm sending 000. So what happens? Suppose if one of the position is altered and 100 was received. So what happens is that the person at the receiving end might think that 100 is not an element in those 000 or 011 or 101. So what he might think is that there is some kind of an error that's been taken place. So what he would do is that so some kind of alternations might be done. So that's what the conclusion that he can make. So some kind of error is being taken place. So that error altered the message. So that's the conclusion that he can make. So he can only able to detect the error. He will be not able to correct the error. So if we need to correct the error, then we need to add a few more bytes or few more redundancies. So originally the length was 2, but I have converted into 3. If we want to find errors or correct errors, we need to increase the length. So if we keep on increasing the length, then we will be able to exactly correct the errors and then detect the errors. So what happens is that when we keep on increasing the length of the code, the biggest problem is that there will be a time lag. Instead of sending a 2 length information, I'm sending 3 length information. If I try to increase the length, I would be sending more length codes. So there is a time lag. So So every time we need not be increasing the length also. We should be clear enough to devise a code in such that maximum amount of information is being transmitted within a shorter span of time, as well as the code must be able to detect more number of errors and correct more number of errors. The study of these two trade-offs between these two things is known as coding theory. And here I have given a simple communication system. So the message source is that the fruit, apple, orange, the fruits that I have been dealing with. The source encoder means the original message is just converted into the binary things, 00 or 01. So channel encoding is nothing but the 00 and 01, 11 are just extended into a 3-length code. So this is the purpose of this channel encoder, and then it's been sent via the channel. The channel is the medium in which the information gets passed, and after that it will be receiving at the receiving end, and then they will be decoding it, and finally it will be reaching the receiver. This is one of the simple communication systems. So hope this introduction to coding theory would serve better. This is some of the applications that have been listed. One other thing I want to highlight is that code is not only useful for transferring information, it's also useful for storing information. So here I have given it as minimization of noise from CDs and DVD recordings. So it also helps in the purpose of storage.
And I have also given other applications of algebraic coding theory. So I hope this video helps to understand this subject, algebraic coding theory. Thank you.